Hello, hello. Welcome to day 2 of Portal Masterclass. The second and final day of the Portal Masterclass series. Say hello if you are joining live. Hashtag replay for catching the replay. I've loved seeing everyone's intention for being here and your takeaways from yesterday. Reminder that I'm doing a giveaway for everyone who shares these live streams and tags me. You're being entered into a drawing to get an Akashic reading, one specific question in the Akashic records. So I've loved seeing everyone share this and invite your friends and soul family in. Oh, yay. Sophia, Lacey, hello. Dimmy, hello. Anne, Jamie, Scott, awesome. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so as you enter this space, I'd love for you to write in the comments, what was your biggest takeaway from yesterday? What was the most profound 1-degree shift that came up for you? Tina, hi. Kayla, hi. Anne, hello. What was the biggest takeaway from yesterday and the 1-degree shift that came up for you? Maybe it was around love, sex, money, mission. Those were the 4 pillars of our life that we really zoned in on. What was your biggest 1-degree shift that came up for you? So yesterday we talked about what is a portal. How do we navigate the energetics, one of a portal in general, but also specifically the one that we're in right now. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about collectively what's on the other side of this portal and what it looks like for us as we go through it and get to the center point. So yesterday was the 1-degree shift, things dying off, looking at the areas of our life where this portal energy is bringing in a wave of energy to facilitate a 1-degree shift. And we can either resist that shift or we can fully surrender to the shift. So write in the comments, what was the 1-degree shift or the thing that's dying off that most struck you yesterday, that came into your awareness most strongly? Because today we're going to talk about coming out the other side of the portal. I shifted into a deeper trust of my heart's desires to live a heart-led life. Beautiful. I saw a lot of people say that they found a lot of peace in that message yesterday because they were experiencing a lot of die-off. They were experiencing these shifts and didn't know what to do with it. It almost felt like something was wrong. So there was almost a sense of, okay, cool. This is what's happening. Now I can figure out how to navigate it consciously. So put in the comments, what is your desire for the other side of this portal, for this next dimension of you, this next dimension of your life, this next experience that you want to have in this human existence? Like, what is your deepest, greatest desire for the other side of the portal? And I ask that because this can happen in 2 ways. Sometimes when we go through a portal, it's something like there's this cosmic portal that we're in, right? Like it's not that we're necessarily consciously choosing to open a portal. We're in it cosmically. We're all going through it, whether we're aware of it or not. Also, we are able to consciously, quantumly create and open a specific portal to go through it of our own accord. So what's happening right now in this collective portal is related to anchoring a higher state of consciousness, anchoring more of our personal power and our sexual embodiment. Why? Why? Is that really what's happening? Is that really what this is all about? As we collectively move through this portal, anchoring more of our personal power, anchoring more of our sexual embodiment, the reason that's happening right now is because we are anchoring more of our creator consciousness. Creator consciousness. So what does that mean has to die off? Victim consciousness. Anywhere that we are experiencing victim consciousness, being the victim to our circumstances, feeling out of our personal power, doesn't mean it's wrong. Doesn't mean that injustice doesn't happen. Doesn't mean anything other than you have an opportunity to take your power back from that. That might be in love. That might be in sex. That might be in money. So collectively, as we go through this portal, and that's why I wanted y'all to look at your individual lives, what you feel dying off, and where you feel this 1 degree shift. And now we can talk collectively. Collectively. The places within ourselves that we hold victim consciousness must be let go, must be alchemized in a way that we can take our power back from that situation, that person, that place, that thing, that construct. Feel this so deeply. Thank you for being here. Feels good to connect with your energy now. Oh, Samantha, I'm so glad you're here. So evident through this eclipse weekend energy. Yeah. Okay, so desires for the other side of this portal. Find your soul purpose, trust in abundance, deeper unity with the universe and my true self, more ease and flow, playful prosperity, self-love, acceptance, mental health, be of great service and be fully supported financially through my service and soul mission. Yes. Live a deeply intuitive life, work in my soul purpose. Yes. Trust in abundance, staying calm and flow. Yes, yes, yes. All right, we're in this together. You're in the right place. I am feeling this. So the best way that I know how to share how to move through this portal and how to move through kind of coming out the other side of this portal is to share my journey with it and how it applies to what's happening collectively. So I am currently retaking the 2 programs that I birthed from this portal last year, Quantum Creation and Quantum Sex Codes. Why? How is that relevant? Why do you care? This morning, I woke up with an uncomfortable feeling. I didn't feel like I was in my personal power. Not fully. There was something that was out of alignment within me. And so I did the journal prompt, one of the journal prompts from yesterday, which was, which aspect of yourself are you not fully seeing or expressing? And the reason we looked at that is because a part of this collective energy in the portal is stepping more fully into our full embodiment, our soul signature, our soul essence, fully embodying and radiating that out in the world. And the more we do that, the more we embody our power, harness our power, the more we can embody creator consciousness and consciously create from that place. Because if there's a part of ourselves that isn't fully loved or seen or expressed or embodied, there's a whole aspect of self and the power that that self holds that we don't have access to at all. It's within us, but it's dormant, it's suppressed, it's denied. And so this morning, I realized there was an intimacy with myself, like just craving love, craving love, really craving partnership. And that's something that I am calling in and creating in my life. And so I woke up with that and was like, oh, okay, cool. What aspect of myself am I not fully intimate with? Am I not fully in love with and connecting with and seeing and honoring and revering? And so I looked at that, and then I was guided to go back to quantum creation and do a journey. What was it? It was opening a love money portal. Like literally going into the quantum field and opening a portal for love and money to flow through in order to anchor that in my system. So I did that, and immediate shift. I felt it. I saw it. I saw where I could open this in the quantum, how that could be opened in my daily life, what action item to take, what is the next step that I could take in order to not just create it in the quantum, in the field of pure potentiality, but then how does that translate into the physical? And then lo and behold, I was in my power, back here. Yes, anchored. Oh, I know exactly what to do. Oh, I know exactly how to feel, how to be, how to move in the world, to align with that, to be that, to radiate that. So let's see, Samantha, I've realized how much I've denied my core desire for luxury. And it's been such a big shift to take the personal power around that back. Ooh, I love that. That's huge. Sometimes there's a lot of shame around that. When we reclaim our desires, we reclaim aspects of ourself. Aspects of ourself that have power that can help us create the very desire. Ooh, it's hot. So, as we move through this portal, again, yesterday we looked at what's dying off, what we can have a 1 degree shift in, because the energy of this portal is like, imagine you're on a sailboat and there's a new gust of wind from a different direction. That's the energy of this portal. This gust of wind it is coming in to shift us, to anchor a different timeline. We have free will. So there's 2 options in this portal energy. As we're sailing and this gust of wind comes in, we can either say, whoa, this is the direction we're going. Nope, this wind, it's interference. That's not working. I'm going to put down the anchor, hold my ground, and stay in this direction. We resist the shift. We fight it. We create friction that could feel like this isn't working, this isn't working, this isn't working. Or this gust of wind can come in, this portal energy can come in, and we can take action and adjust our sail. What happens when we do that? Things speed up. Imagine, feel in your body right now. You are literally sailing, you're going in this direction, a gust of wind comes, you adjust the sail, and you shift and you go. You go faster with more momentum. There's this huge energy behind you that is funneling you forward. This is where we experience time differently. It feels like time speeds up. It's like the space-time continuum is bending and folding, and we go through the portal. If we adjust our sails by choosing to take action. I realized how ingrained the good girl wound has been as I've put blocks for my authentic wants in love and money to stay safe through acting like a good girl. Sophia, that is massive, and I totally relate to you there. And it was in my safety of the good girl and uncaging her, which I did a lot of in quantum sex codes, like looking at our dark desires. There's usually a dark desire underneath that, a desire that's been suppressed or denied. And like for me, as I went through that specific journey in quantum sex codes, what opened up for me was the sacred rebel and the sacred slut. Like, I want to booty dance and shake my ass and let it all out. And that feels so liberating for me. That feels so expansive. There's so much power in the ability to harness that type of raw, real, unadulterated, sensual, sexual energy. And the good girl was caging that because she didn't feel safe in that. So there was some wounding to heal through and some quantum structures, some beliefs around what that might mean or how the world might respond to me or what people might think about me. So again, that goes back to fully embodying our sexuality, our sacred sexuality, and really looking at the narratives that the collective, that the world, that religion, that parents, that schooling, that the media have built around that. Because a part of this portal energy, this next dimension that we're stepping into, is a marriage of the sexual and the sacred. Why? Because sex is sacred. Like I said yesterday, we can't take sex out of life. Life is one big, natural, organic orgy. All the time. Flowers, trees, all of it. Us, animals. So a big part of this shift in this next dimension that we're stepping into collectively, and this will look different for everyone individually, but the collective energy here is this sacred sexual embodiment. Why? Because our sexual energy is our life force energy, is our power to create. Lacey, life is one big organic orgy. I mean, right? It's our life force. So this next dimension is one of sovereign sexual embodiment. What does that require? That requires the marriage of our two polarized energies, our masculine and our feminine, within our own lives, to anchor that sacred union within. Why? This dimension that we are collectively moving into is one of sacred union. Sacred union. We are moving from this divided we're moving from division to unity. And this is important because it anchors a higher frequency, the frequency of love, the frequency of union. The frequency of union is so much stronger and can access much higher states of consciousness than division and separation. And the world is shifting drastically. Drastically. So as this energy comes in, it is helping us to 1 degree shift in our masculine energy, our consciousness, our presence, our focus, our mission, our freedom, and our feminine energy, our intuitive, our feeling, our radiating love. The masculine is the electric, penetrative force. The feminine is the magnetic, receptive force. From a quantum perspective, our electromagnetic fields are amplifying in this next dimension. Why? Because as we anchor in this higher dimension on the other side of this portal, we are harnessing more of our power to create a new world. This is no longer just about us. This is about us being souls who have mastered specific energetics and gifts and skills over lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. And it's time for us to activate them now and bring them forward to create the new world, to build it out. First, in the quantum reality of pure potentiality. The quantum field is pure potentiality, where all possibilities exist, all potentials exist. It is all available. Which is why I'm receiving for myself quantum creation. I am opening up portals. I am creating new timelines. I am expanding my channel to be able to hold what it is that I am creating. Through quantum creation, I'm pulling down my next divine assignment. I'm getting clarity on it, on what my next steps are. That's the whole point of that program, is to remember, bring in divinity, source, creator, God, universe, higher self. What is my next divine assignment in order to create the world that we all want to inhabit? To create the world that we came here to create for ourselves and the whole. Oh, I'm getting real clear on it. Okay, I'm going on tangents. So, again, this wind is coming in. We can 1 degree shift. We can put our anchor down and resist. Let's first talk about those 2 options. The first option is put our anchor down and resist. Why would we do that? What does that look like? Oftentimes, it's because we don't know how, or we feel fear. The biggest reason is we feel fear. What is fear? What is that? What is the energy of fear that causes us to put down the anchor and choose not to quantum leap and collapse time and do the 1 degree shift and go through the portal? Fear is the anticipation of pain. Here's the tricky part. The pain isn't actually happening right now. But we feel the anticipation of it, so we bring it into the now. Lacey, yes, uncertainty and fear will paralyze us from taking action. Yes. So remember, yesterday we talked about how do we access the quantum field in the now? How do we anchor something from the quantum in the physical? Now. We embody it now. So what happens when fear comes up? What is the actual fear? I'll use examples from my own life, from the 4 pillars. Love. I went through this recently. I was terrified to say I love you. I was terrified. And I had all of these stories of anticipating the pain of what might happen if I said I love you. So what did I do? I put down an anchor. And I didn't say it. I didn't take the action. And it created this disconnect tension when what I really wanted to do was connect. So I put down that anchor. And it actually separated me from what was ultimately there, which was deep, deep love. And my desire to express it and to be fully expressed in that. But that fear caused me to put down an anchor. What about money? Oh my gosh. Fear of money, fear of a 1-degree shift. Like I said yesterday with last year's portal, I was guided to shut down early the programs, the containers that were bringing me money, to shut off all of my revenue streams. Was there fear that came up around that? Yes. But I also had a higher knowing and I trusted, so I did it anyways. That requires courage, surrender, and trust. Courage, surrender, and trust. I had to go all in. Alexandra, yes, feeling fearless on my path after quantum creation. Oh my gosh, Alex, your shift in quantum creation lit me up. Like, whoa. Samantha, any thoughts on when you feel deep connection with someone, but they have fear, so they retreat? Guidance on how to continue surrendering and detaching. So that's a big question that I would love to answer here. We go really deep into that in quantum sex codes, in building intimacy with yourself and with a partner, and opening and closing your heart and creating that intimacy and safety, and like how to navigate that. For now, I will say honor your own boundaries and create the container that you need to surrender. And that container might be opening your heart more, opening your heart less, creating a space for yourself. I can't fully go into that here because that would be a much bigger conversation, but I would point you to quantum sex codes because holy moly, it's everything with love, intimacy, sex, and using that for creation as an ascension tool and anchoring sacred union. Okay, so the action requires courage. You're welcome. The action requires courage. Because in feeling the fear, we are either choosing to respond to the anticipated pain of the future and hold that now, or we anchor our ability to feel that discomfort and do it anyways. The key to moving through fear is expanding our ability to hold intense sensations. to sit with intense sensations of discomfort. We are expanding our ability to hold and experience the pain-pleasure spectrum. I did this embodiment practice recently. It's in actually both quantum sex codes and quantum creation, a pain-pleasure magnetism embodiment practice. So when fear comes in, I do the embodiment practice to feel it and alchemize it into pleasure and use that pain as fuel to amplify my magnetic field for what I do desire. That's possible. That's very possible. We haven't been taught this, which is why I'm being guided to share this through this portal, because I'm using these tools myself right now. It's big, y'all. So the way to move through the fear is to expand the amount of intensity that we can hold in our bodies, in our nervous systems. Because if we can feel the fear and do it anyways, we're able to feel the one end of the spectrum, the fear, the potential pain, and feel the opposite end of the spectrum, the pleasure that's available to us on the other side of the courageous action. We can look in both directions. Fear and excitement are very similar sensations in the body. Just like pain and pleasure are very similar sensations in the body. What's the difference? Our belief about them. The quantum structure, the mental thoughts, the belief system, the quantum foundation dictates how we experience that sensation of pain or pleasure. So the way that we move through the fear is to be able to sit with intensity. Intense love, intense pain, intense anger, intense excitement. Why? Because as we go through this portal and anchor in a higher dimension, it is a higher frequency. We have to attune to that. We must be able to hold that, to feel that. And as we go through this, that's why I'm redoing all of these journeys and embodiment practices, because I know that this 1 degree shift in my life, even though from this point, the 1 degree shift is small. If we look at the timeline, a 1 degree shift from here becomes here. It's a bigger shift out in front of us. The timeline going out, it looks so much bigger. But if we trace it back to the center point, to where that internal zoom in quantum shift is, it looks little. So again, if we're zooming and looking at the big picture of how this quantum shift happens, what this quantum leap looks like further out on the timeline in the future, it looks like such a big jump. So if we're looking at that, we often get caught in the fear, in the how, in the I don't understand. But if we zoom in to what that 1 degree shift is and anchor in that, it unfolds itself if we choose to take action with the 1 degree shift. So again, we have free will. We're living in 2 dimensions simultaneously: quantum reality, physical reality. And we are living in both, whether we are aware of them or not. Whether we know or have the tools to navigate them or not, we're still living in them. So in this portal, we are stepping more into a quantum reality awareness of how to consciously work with the quantum field to create our desires, our sacred desires, bring our next soul mission, our soul assignment into physical form. Now, I am highly psychic, and that can be really disorienting sometimes because I feel like I'm living in two different realities. And oftentimes, the psychic and the way that I see the quantum doesn't yet match what I'm experiencing and seeing in the physical. That can be scary and disorienting. The way that we navigate that is, again, to expand our channel and awareness to be in both. All right, this is resonating with y'all. All my super psychic people are like, yes. So if the action requires courage, what does that look like? That means taking a step before you know where your foot is going to land. This happened in April or May of this year. I knew that I had outgrown my space, the apartment that I was living in Austin, because I moved to Austin pretty quickly, and I just moved into the apartment complex that my best friend was living in. It was the path of least resistance at that time. I didn't search for what I wanted at all. I just cool, that's where she is. I'm going there. Bam. And frankly, it was a downgrade in my lifestyle. I was living in this beautiful high-rise apartment, luxury thing in Houston with a downtown view and tall ceilings and yada yada. And the shift that came in then was to just move into this apartment and just be there, get to Austin now. So I did. And was it this year? God, timing. This year, I knew that I had outgrown the space. There was something so much bigger that wanted to birth through me, and my channel felt too constricted in that physical space. So my quantum reality was kind of constricted, like the portal of myself was constricted because my physical space felt constricted. And I found a place that I'm in now that is on the lake. It is perfect. It is a very specific manifestation. It doubled my rent. And I was very specifically guided to take that step before I knew what was going to come through. Before I knew what that space was going to allow me to open up to create and receive. I took the step before I knew where I was going to land. I was guided to go to Costa Rica and to hire a videographer to candidly capture me doing one-on-one sessions with people and doing a workshop. These were downloads. I had no idea why, no idea what it was for. And it would have been really easy to be like, well, how? How do I even get someone to document something that I don't even know what it is or what it's for, or what it's going to be used for? I don't understand. But I felt it, so I did it. Fast forward, Greece. I'm guided to go to Greece for a month. Hire a videographer, channel, candidly capture. Still don't know why. Spending a ton of money, investing large sums of money to globetrot in 2021, channel, serve, and capture it. I didn't have to, I chose. And I summoned the courage to make the investment before I knew what the return was. I still don't know what the return is. I'm starting to see it. But oftentimes the step is a mystery journey. You take the step before you know where you're going to land. You invest before you know what the return is. You show up as that person who has and experiences what you desire before you have it, before you're experiencing it. You show up as him, as her, as them now. Because we anchor the field of pure potentiality, the quantum reality, we anchor it in the physical by being it now, feeling it now, being grateful for it now. Lacey, the way you live and serve in the mystery of the sacred feminine is powerfully inspiring. I received that. Deeply, deeply received that. Thank you. And here's the beautiful part about that, Lacey, is my feminine receives it. She feels it. And my masculine trusts my oracular feminine to take action on it. That is sacred union. That is anchoring sacred union within. Oh my gosh, all of y'all's love. Thank you so much. I'm really feeling y'all. I really appreciate you. Thank you for being here. And thank you for receiving me. So it's anchoring that sacred union within. That is the energy on the other side of this portal, is sacred union. That doesn't mean the love of your life has to walk through the door today. That means you live that within yourself. So again, the fear that comes up that would cause us to put down the anchor and not move through this portal is the anticipation of pain. Well, if we feel more comfortable feeling sensations of pain, we don't have to let that anticipation of pain stop us from taking the action. Because we've gained a sense of grounded safety in feeling discomfort. We're expanding our channel to be able to feel and hold a broader range of sensation, of frequency, of emotion. We're increasing our emotional intelligence so that we're not unconsciously reacting to fear. We are consciously responding to these sensations that are triggered in the body. We are no longer unconsciously reacting to fear. We are consciously responding to the sensations that we feel in the body. Which is why I'm going through quantum creation and quantum sex codes to anchor my bigger range, the range that my body and my channel requires in order to fully embody and anchor into this higher dimension. Because I don't want to put down the anchor. I know that things I've called in for years, that I've seen psychically for years, are coming in through this portal. I don't want to put the anchor down. I don't want to cut it off because I don't understand how it's coming in. Jamie, can apathy be a feeling or symptom to being in the middle of the portal? Yes, I've experienced this. I went through about a week of apathy, of almost like numbness, and not even numbness. I actually got to the point where I felt disconnected from my pleasure and from gratitude, such that I was reaching within me to feel pain, just to feel on the broader ends of the spectrum, unconsciously. And I ended up actually kind of putting myself in a pain loop because I was so uncomfortable with the apathy, with the almost like this feeling of giving up. Is this resonating, Jamie? Is that kind of what you're experiencing? It was almost this feeling of like, what am I doing? Why am I here? Why even bother? Why am I doing this? Like, why am I so devoted to something that I don't fully understand right now? Like, what? I'm over it. Like, I'm fucking over it. And then there was anger. And then there was resentment. And then there was all of this stuff was able to come up from beneath that. But I was able to see the loop that I was putting myself in, or that I was circulating in, and move through it. Again, that's why I'm going back through these programs. It has snapped me out of it. I am anchoring this dimension, this on the other side of this portal. I don't know what I would do without these tools, honestly. And so it's putting me in a place of being so grateful for myself and my past self, for being the vessel and the conduit for these tools, these teachings, these activations, these healings that my present self now gets to receive from the past me. I'm so grateful that I chose to take the scary actions then, because I'm receiving it now. Alexa, I'm trying to move through my body, the feelings and pain and tons of tears coming up. A lot of purge that was unexpected this week and a car accident. My question is, what external work do I keep doing? Allow the sensations to be there. Allow yourself to embody and express them. If you are in quantum creation or quantum sex codes, do the pain, pleasure, magnetism embodiment practice. Journal out what's there for you, what's coming up in the sensations. But ultimately allow them to be there and allow yourself to peel back the layers to see what's underneath and shift the stories around it. This is mainly, this is all quantum creation work. So if you're looking at any of these programs, it would be quantum creation, which is in the bundle. Yes, resonates. Thank you. Yes, I confronted myself for the uncertainty loop and the addiction to the intensity of that. Yes. Okay. So that's one thing that's happening collectively right now in this portal, is this addiction energy. I think I mentioned addiction yesterday. The addiction energy of a loop, because we've gotten really comfortable with it, because we don't know what it feels like on the other side, or we don't know what it looks like on the other side, or subconsciously there's a sense of safety in the loop, and so you actually feel unsafe doing something different. Rewiring that to reach to the other end of the spectrum, to feel that intense pleasure on the other side, or to just let it go. Because, whoa, who am I if I'm not looping? Whoa, who am I if I'm not carrying this energy? Whoa, who am I if I'm not feeling this thing that I've felt for such a long time? Ego doesn't know who you are. It's an identity thing. That takes courage. To not know who you are? To not know what you're here for? I've been through that this past couple of weeks in this portal. Who am I? What am I doing? What? I'm reading the comments. I'm at a point where I do see the loops and I'm moving beyond them, but I still have zero motivation to move towards what my soul craves. So there's several reasons for that. And I think we're actually going to cover that here. I would look at what is, how do I say this? What feels safe in your body? Staying in the loops. What is it that you enjoy about these loops. We actually talk about this in quantum sex codes, eroticizing wounds. Sometimes our wounding from the past that we've suppressed, denied, not fully looked at, our unmet needs can actually be expressed as a fantasy or as a dark desire or as something that we don't fully look at within ourselves. So there's some kind of pleasure that could be gained by staying in the loop, or a sense of safety or comfort of staying in the loop. So look at what that is for you and be just really radically honest with yourself. I think I'm scared of the greatness that lies within actually taking the leaps. Nailed it. Nailed it. Why? Y'all, this is the most common thing I see. I'm going through it as we speak. Are we strong enough to hold that greatness? Have we anchored and embodied our ability to hold that amount of pleasure? That amount of greatness? That amount of fulfillment? Can we really have it all? Really? So if that's the fear, how do you summon the courage? You feel the fear and do it anyways. You move the fear through the body so you're no longer reacting to it and you can just be with it for what it is. And then act from that grounded place of, I can hold this. I can feel this. I'm still alive. I'm still breathing. I am still good. And then you do it anyways. I've never been in a place where I didn't want anything. I was full of love and gratitude for simply the sun, water, the breeze, and earth this week. Yes, Jamie, I've been feeling these same things. We're in the same portal. We're in the same portal. Okay. So we have to be in both dimensions at once. Of feeling the fear and summoning the courage. Of creating what we want in the quantum reality, the field of pure potentiality, which again, I teach in quantum creation, and bringing it into the physical, which I do with sexual energy. Quantum sex codes. This is the dimension that we're stepping into. We are increasing our range to feel, to channel, to receive, to embody, to express. So, action requires the wind comes in, the 1 degree shift is available. We can resist it and put the anchor down or take the action step forward. The action requires courage, which requires us to hold a bigger range of the pain-pleasure spectrum and learn how to alchemize our pain into pleasure to hold a bigger range, to amplify our magnetic field so our desires are magnetized into us. Literally, that's how it works. And to summon more of our personal power that we haven't yet accessed. I do this through sexual energy, through sexual embodiment. Sex is the gateway between the quantum and the physical. Sex is the gateway between the quantum and the physical. Literally, we birth humans. We take a soul from this quantum field and birth it through sex into physical form. This is not a metaphor. This is real. We haven't been taught how to do this consciously, and that's what we're stepping into. That's why the sexual work is so powerful. So if we're moving through this portal, this wind is coming in, we're shifting a 1-degree shift. We have to take action on that shift by summoning more of our personal power, by increasing the range of sensation that we're able to hold in the body. We use our sex as the gateway to bring the quantum into the physical. I'm so glad this is landing. Let me know if y'all have taken either of these programs and what your experience was and how it relates to this portal, because I brought it through and some of y'all were with me, but now I'm receiving it. So I'd love to tune into that with you. So we must both be both the vessel for the divine and harness our free will to act. That's both dimensions at once. Jared and Natalie, quantum sex codes. Love that we're dropping back into sex magic. Yes. Yes. Where was I? Yes, so to be in both dimensions at once, we are both the vessel for the divine, for infinite intelligence, for the quantum field, the energetic source, creator, universe, higher self. We are the vessel for it to come through. And in the physical, we harness our free will to make a choice and take action. So in the 4 areas of our life, the pillars of our life that we looked at yesterday, love, sex, money, mission, what is the action item? What is the actionable step to take? For me right now, it's taking both of these programs to receive them and help to anchor this next dimension and to open up to receive and create what's next for me and my mission and my fulfillment and my love and my sex and my all of it. And my action step is reviewing all of the footage that I was divinely guided to create over this last year without understanding why or how or why I was investing large sums of money for something that I didn't know what the return was going to be or even what the final product would be. Because here's the thing with this portal when it comes to mission. If we've been following the guidance, it's likely that the ingredients for our next mission, for creating our desires, we already have a lot of the ingredients. The action right now is putting some of those ingredients together. Seems like more women are open to sex magic. Are there men who understand this idea and willingly participate? Yes. Yes, there are. From my experience, women are remembering this and embodying this on like the primary wave collectively. Like the women are reactivating these sex codes within them. And the feminine is the oracle. Now we all have masculine and feminine energy, but if we are primarily feminine beings, we are the oracle. We're going to have this higher sight, this oracular wisdom, this remembrance, this activation within us. So oftentimes it is the women initiating men into this remembrance, into these practices. Now, there is also a collective of men on the planet that are reawakening to this ancient wisdom, that are embodying this within themselves, that want a conscious relationship and are absolutely available to participate in that. And there are men teaching this. But collectively, if we go look back at, I have vivid remembrances of being a high priestess, sexual priestess, in the Isis lineage. And both assisting sexual priestesses in their work and doing it myself as men would come back from, well, these are a bunch of different points on the timeline, but doing sacred sexual practices for sexual healing to facilitate healing of men after coming back from war. The feminine would initiate this healing and these practices with the men. And so as the feminine collectively are remembering this and stepping into this and activating this, re-embodying this, we have an opportunity to invite the masculine into it with us. And for some people, that might mean initiating them into these awarenesses and these practices, or vice versa. But it's available to all of us. And Jared and Natalie, yeah, there's a man and a woman who both took quantum sex codes, who are both embodying, practicing, and teaching this work in their own way as well. Like, yes, it is available. Okay, we're getting towards the end. So let's see. What did I miss? The action requires going all in. You can't partially adjust the sail if the wind is blowing in. If in this portal, there's a gust of wind facilitating a 1-degree shift to anchor our highest timeline, to anchor our highest path, our next divine assignment, the next dimension of ourselves, we can't halfway adjust the sail. We have to fully step, fully adjust, fully take action, go all in. Before you know where you're going to land, before you know what the return on the investment is, before you know how it will all line up. So again, the collective energy here in this portal on the other side of it is sexual sovereignty and embodiment. Harnessing more of our personal power through harnessing our life force, our sexual energy. Anchoring sacred union within, our masculine, our feminine, coming into union, into support, and being the oracle and taking divine action in order to anchor this higher frequency of unconditional love that ripples through the planet, and remember the power of our sexuality so we can create the new world. No, we can opt out of it. We don't have to. But like, if you opt out of it, you are where you are right now. If you opt out of it, again, free will, you're probably going to hit resistance. Might be more painful. Or you'll stay where you are. And that's your choice. You are choosing the dimension that you live in, that you experience, that you embody, that you can create from. But on the other side of this portal, if we, from a sovereign place, choose to take the action that is required to, with this 1-degree shift, to anchor this timeline, through embodying that sexual energy, through anchoring sacred union within, through embodying the power of our life force by learning the rules of that reality and playing within it, we are actually how do I say that? Redefining wealth, money, and exchange. Wealth, money, and exchange. New money channels are opening if we take the action. We are choosing the world we want to live in right now. And so just like Alice went down the rabbit hole and didn't know where she landed, and she ate a mushroom and then she grew really big and was like, whoa, what just happened? She didn't know what reality she was landing in, what dimension she was landing in. She didn't know the rules. She didn't know how to play. She didn't know what to do. She had to figure it out as she went. That's why courage is required, because you're going to have to figure it out once you get there. You might land in this other dimension before you know how to play in that reality. Or you can find your allies, other people that are going into this, anchoring this reality also, other people that are choosing to accept the 1 degree shift, take the courageous action, and do it together. Or you can find someone who's already anchored there, who has the rules of the game, who knows the template, who knows how to navigate that space, quantum reality, sexual power, creating through sex and portals and timelines and anchoring the pain pleasure spectrum. And you team up with them and you learn the rules so you don't figure it out on your own. Both are valid. All is valid. We have free will. But this is what's available to us right now. So I'd love to hear in the comments, what is your action item for your 1 degree shift that you could take right now to opt into the dimension on the other side of the portal? Now, that action item might be surrender to the void. That action item might be feel my feelings. That action item might be make the investment. Open up a new money channel by making the investment and trust that it'll come in. It might be saying, I love you first. But what is that step for you right now that requires courage, that brings up fear, that allows you to opt into the 1 degree shift and come out the other side? To expedite the timeline, to go through the quantum leap. And sit with that. And then what is required of you to take that step? Okay, anything else on this portal? That feels complete for me. If that feels complete for you, thank you for being here. I will share with you once more the holiday offerings that I have been very specifically guided to share with you now to facilitate you going through this portal, to anchor into this next dimension, to learn the rules of the game so we can navigate it consciously and increase our awareness and our ability to hold it all. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. So I will put the links in here. All of my programs are half off. Quantum creation, quantum sex codes, soul evolution, it's all there. These are the tools that got me here. They're the tools I'm tapping into now to help me get through this portal. And it is what could, if this feels aligned for you, help you anchor a reality that is beyond what you currently know is possible for yourself. I have seen marriages transform. I have seen orgasmic, multi-dimensional orgasmic sex that brings in downloads of clarity of knowing what to do next. I've seen relationships shift and transform. I've seen businesses launch. I've seen income double and triple. I literally witness miracles and magic all the time with this work. So if this calls to you, I'll put the links in here. If you have any questions about if this would be a fit for you or what would be the best fit for you, DM me, let me know. I really want to support you through this as I'm receiving it myself. .com/Trinity Bundle. There we go. And I will save this for everyone to hop into and watch the replay if you missed it. And again, the first 10 people will have the living library for an entire year, which is basically Zaya on demand. You have everything you need. So if you've ever been drawn to my work, now is the time. DM me with any questions. I love you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.